We're starting off high.
We can get
I think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
no, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
What's up?
What up? What up? What's going on, man?
You know, I mean,
That's not the energy I'm looking for tonight, Cliff. I'm gonna need you to step your shit up.
you know, it's that.
Is that all right?
Mhm.
All right. We're gonna have to coax it out of you. Yeah, man, it was a long week.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's any longer or shorter. It's just, I mean, I don't even think that there's anything that took place that would have made the week any longer so much as it's just, shit's just fuck right now.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything, going on. It's just, it's fuck shit. A whole lot of fuck shit happening.
I hear you. Well, it was long on my side because of basketball season starting up.
Did y'all start practice and everything?
Yeah, we had a practice Sunday and then a practice last night. And our weeknight practices are from like 7 to 8, which just feels late. Like, I know it's not that late, but it feels late.
Well, that's pretty late.
Right? Especially for 10-year-olds, it feels a little late.
That's pretty late.
But so we had practice. I think we're gonna have a good squad. We'll see. We've definitely got size and athleticism, so we've got the key ingredients for that age. But I don't know, man. I already had to drop some coach bombs on them yesterday.
Some coach bombs? What kind of
Yesterday.
coach bomb?
I don't know. Like 3 of them complained about shit like back to back to back. And I stopped practice. I pulled them all in. I'm like, I need y'all to come here right now. I'm going to let you know something. You might not know this about me. I don't argue with kids. And I didn't say shut the fuck up, but I wanted to say shut the fuck up.
Right.
And so I ended up giving the Urban Meyer speech. The whole
What's that?
The whole there are 2 things. There's a fact about life that y'all need to learn right now. Event plus outcome, or event plus response equals outcome.
You're right.
And there's only one thing in that equation you control. How you respond.
All right.
I don't want to hear he did this. I don't want to hear the ref didn't call that. I'm like, I am not going to listen to any of this shit.
I
So
mean,
anytime you feel something isn't going your way, I need you to do something for me. I need you to take a breath and look inside and tell me what the fuck you could have done better. Because this, oh, he did that, or oh, they didn't do this, or oh, shut the fuck up. And obviously, these are 10-year-olds. This was not the language that was used, but it was how I was feeling. And I think some of
right.
them were mad because, dude, we went through the first 35 minutes of practice without touching a ball. It was all
So what
footwork
did you,
stuff. I
yeah.
did quick foot ladders. I did like sprint up, put your hands up, shuffle back, keep your hands wide on the shuffle back. And we did that for the first half hour before we even picked up a ball.
All right.
And then when they did pick up a ball, what'd they do? They owed me 5 layups coming from each direction, from the right and then from the left. And then I let them play a game of knockout. And then we scrimmaged. Because I'm not a basketball guy, man. I'm not gonna teach offenses and defenses and shit. Because one, this league, we're only allowed to play man anyways.
Right.
So like
Right.
there's nothing for me to do. On offense, I basically set up like a very, very rudimentary like motion offense. But that was it. Because honestly, we've got better talent than most of the league. So we're probably going to win our fair share of games.
What makes you feel that way
Because
as opposed
I have two kids that are over like 5'5".
okay.
Period, point blank. And honestly, I won games last year with 2 guys that were 5'2". And they both have put on, or I mean, A-Reg has put on another 2-3 inches. And there's another kid on the team who is big, or isn't big like A-Reg, but he's tall like A-Reg.
Right.
And to be fair, he's a big, strong black kid. There's nobody in the league that can go toe to toe with him. I watched this kid when he goes for a layup, you blink and you think he can dunk. Like he can't, but
Right.
it gives you enough to think that that's a possibility for an 11-year-old. And I'm just like, cool. I'm gonna put those 2 down low, let my edge guys shoot, and hope we get the rebound and put it back up because nobody can get close to Andrew if he boxes out.
Right.
You can't get
Right.
close to him. So good luck. And this will probably be the last season. I might do one more year coach of basketball. That'll be it.
I mean, that's love, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, and then of course I sent you the video. Got him doing the squats and all that last week.
Right.
So, the thing we're working on now is just like hip power and explosiveness. Like he doesn't have any hip bend yet. And so
Right.
he's frustrated with me because that's all we worked on today. I'm like, we did RDLs almost the entire like evening that we did our little workout. It was RDL type things and lunges.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, all I'm trying to teach you is explosiveness and flexibility right now. You showed me what you can do in the squat. You've got power. Power is not your issue. Explosiveness and mobility are your issues. And that's what we're going to work on. What?
I don't know. Like I don't know that he has any issues other than taking it seriously.
Yeah, I think that that's part of it sometimes.
Yeah, like he
But
has
I also
everything.
don't
He
think
just
watching yes, he has good feet and he has good footwork. He doesn't have explosiveness yet.
right.
And
But I also feel
that's
like
all hip explosion. It
that comes
does.
from taking it serious too. The more serious you take it, the faster those reps look.
Yep.
The realer those reps look. And when you just out there to, move and take up space, it's always going to look like you're a big clunky kid. Like
Right.
it's your job to kick it into a gear that looks like, oh, he's moving faster or as fast as the rest of them.
And I agree with that. I agree with it. I
Mhm.
agree that effort plays a big part in that. But I also think that because of this way his body has developed, he's got opportunity to work on flexibility and mobility too.
No, definitely, definitely. And I mean, he's a bigger kid in general. So as
Right.
he gets older, he's going to need to emphasize those things because it's going to be harder to move
My
the
push with
bigger he
him,
gets.
is I want for him to be somewhere between uncomfortable and comfortable with like the body weight shit and the um conditioning type stuff, and I want him to own being the strongest, which I
Right.
think he already kind of does, but he's beyond uncomfortable in the body weight stuff and the like it's conditioning but agility type stuff.
All right.
And again, he's got good feet. He just needs to work on like getting the legs up a little bit more, really driving through the ground, that kind of stuff.
Right. Right.
All right, enough about him. What you got? Any inadverts?
Hold up. Let me think. I had something. Um, I know it's in reference to getting older with social media.
Yeah.
I feel like especially during this time, like during this specific era, we're in the era of not being able to trust anything really. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I feel like
I
we're
mean, it's
getting to
always
the
been trust none of what you hear and half of what you see, right? But now it's like you
right.
can't trust any of
And
it.
I feel like we're getting to the point of figuring out which of us are gonna get scammed in our elderly years. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are falling for shit that would indicate we're cooked when we get older. You
What
know what I'm
happened? What
saying?
happened, Cliff? Did you get a mean pop up on your last porn watch?
No, 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 no,
They
nothing
gave you the
like that.
ransomware, said your phone is hacked.
No, nothing like that. But even what's the word for it? Like I guess you could call it like the online chain mail.
Yeah, like scam mail,
You know what I'm
spam.
saying? Not even like spam, but like I said, like the chain mail shit. Like all it's really doing is showing who's willing to participate.
Yeah.
And even to somebody like myself who doesn't participate in anything, there's always room to be gotten. You know what I'm saying?
I saw you. I saw you the other week have something that was like you reposted something, and then you were like you were mad because you reposted it and got a bunch of bullshit because of
Right. And it's
it.
like, and I realized in that instance that you just got scammed essentially.
Did.
Like it wasn't, it's not a sense of you giving out any information, but you actively participated in something you would not have normally participated in,
I
which
do
caused the
think
level of duress.
I would actually take it even a step further. I think with a lot of that stuff, it gives them their target list of who they're going
That's what
after
I'm
next.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. Like it lets everybody know who's gonna get scammed in your older age.
Yeah.
Because that's something that you would have never seen me participate in, but almost immediately in participating, I'm like, oh, I get it
I
now. You
fucked
know what
up.
I'm saying? Like, right, like makes sense.
All right. So it wasn't anything serious. Just it ended up being more like annoying because it opened you up as part of like the spam target list.
Yeah, no, no, but I mean it's beyond that. Like even okay, so put it like this. Even the topic of discussion when you sent the text message. I was like, uh-oh, this could be, you know what I'm saying? This again could be caught in a situation that, you know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And it's like, even the Bible said it, like, we are going to come into a time where you cannot trust up from fucking down. And a piece
But
of
here's
us has,
here's the flip side of what I've made the main topic of the show tonight.
right.
I already believed all that stuff before there was evidence. So of course I'm going to latch on if all it is doing is reaffirming shit that I already believed, right?
But isn't that how they get you?
I mean, it's fair. It doesn't.
Isn't that how they get you?
It doesn't take any skin off of my back to believe this, though. Whether
I'm
it's
just
true
saying.
or not, I find it humorous that Big DJT, Big Donnie, is out there blowing Bill Clinton. Like, it's funny to me. And it puts a whole new lens on why Hillary and Don hated each other so much during the 2016 election. Because Bill's out there saying, now get out there, baby. Show them who sucks better. Like,
well, we knew Hillary wasn't that one when Monica came around. So,
right. And meanwhile, dude, I saw the best TikTok reel ever today, and it was Don on top, Hillary on bottom, and they were singing "The Boy Is Mine," and Bill Clinton just sitting in the background smoking a cigar.
I just feel like this is.
Oh, I think it's a major distraction. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's basically putting us to war with Venezuela right now. So,
I mean, beyond all that, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like.
well, and the what people are saying, the real reason is all this stuff is coming out, or why it's been behind closed doors for so long, is it's not about the politicians. It's about the folks at JP Morgan Chase. It's about the folks at BlackRock. It's about the folks at, like, that's who's really been keeping this shit under the wraps.
Keeping what under the wraps?
Just the whole Epstein files and the emails and all that shit. Because yes, what everybody's focused on right now is the Don and, you know, him blowing Bill Clinton. But, and I'm gonna say it like 12 times this episode. But that's not the real threat in these. The real threat is the names of corporate executives who are on board seats for those big companies I just rattled off.
Yeah, again, like, I feel like, well, really, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is like some lame schoolyard point keeping. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and
like,
that's my whole thing with it. Like, you know, the Republicans are the MAGA cultists are basically like, see, Bill Clinton's names are all over that too. Yeah, arrest that motherfucker too. Lock them all up.
Yeah, I've heard all that.
Put
Yeah,
them to a fucking firing squad.
I mean, like, I've heard all that, but at the same time, like, it doesn't
change anything.
Beyond up doesn't change anything. Again, like we just talked about how we're in the era of it's hard to believe a lot.
It's not hard for me to believe this, though.
It is to me, in a sense. It is in a sense.
Because I also see the picture of Don grabbing Bill Clinton's junk with their clothes on in a different photo.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we said off air, I feel like this is just a ploy. Like, it's a trolling tactic for basically what you're doing is, like, you're saying, well, let me troll him by saying you suck Bill Clinton off, so he may play to his ego to be like, well, I'll release it just to show motherfuckers I didn't suck Bill off, but it'll show me guilty in another light. Like, right. Motherfuckers, like, y'all are dumb though. Like, don't think that you fucking liberals are smart. You're not.
No. And again, you know? I'm not talking about this as liberals versus MAGA. I'm talking about this as,
but that's essentially what it is.
The rich eating the rich.
But that's essentially what it is, though. At the end of the day,
I mean, okay, And
it's essentially them saying
this was an issue before it was, it was a Trump thing or a Hillary thing. Epstein was a piece of shit. We have
oh no,
evidence of
right.
that
No,
here
for
in
sure.
Ohio with fucking Lex Wexner.
No,
Same
for sure.
he's one of his cronies.
But see,
And
that's
yet
the
we
thing
still
though.
have Wexner Medical Center at the Ohio State University, even though Wexner was just as likely fucking these underage girls.
That's the thing though. It's the tisk tisk. It's the shame on you situation. Because it's
Burn
not
it
like
down,
this shit.
Clifford!
It's not like this shit wasn't already. It was already. Everything was already a thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Shame on you for waiting until 2024 to see that this was a fucking thing.
And that was my first comment was the reason I believe this is because I've already believed it for a long time.
And now that it's here and it's like people are so ashamed that they didn't see it, they're like, well, Trump sucked the dick. What the fuck does that mean, bitch? What does that mean? What does that mean?
You're right. It doesn't mean anything. So this takes me to another TikTok reel that I saw earlier in this week. That there is this Moms for Liberty chick who is the chair of some Florida school or education board.
Wait, say that again.
So there's
Moms for Charity,
Moms for Liberty, which is a very conservative right-wing group.
Okay.
Who is on the board of education in some Florida county, city, whatever.
Okay.
Is under fire right now because she was basically found out to be involved in a threesome. Now, not anybody's business. None of that. There was a young gay kid who took the brunt of attacks from Moms from Liberty, who basically walked into the school board meeting and said, you should not be fired because you were found to have a threesome. You should be fired because you're shit at your job. But your threesome isn't anybody's business. I agree. Donald Trump getting his rocks off, sucking Bill Clinton's dick, doesn't bother me. If that's what they do, cool, that's what they do. When they involve underage girls, that's a problem.
Oh, of course. Of course. But see, this is the thing about it, though. Like, it's like...
And yes, we know they're trafficking. We know they were all involved in it. Lock them all up!
and again, though, it's not like this is anything new, right? Like, this isn't anything new. This is just what people are starting to open their eyes up to now.
I agree. However, it was whispered and there was never any hard evidence. Like, that's always my issue with...
I don't know if that's the truth. I think it's a situation where people were not willing to open their eyes to it. Nickelodeon has been a thing for decades.
Yep, and they've done exposés on everything that went there.
There are kids older than we are that have been saying that they have been sexually assaulted, and nobody did anything about that. This has been going on for decades.
And I don't disagree that it's been going on for decades. The advent of social media and the ability to share that information more broadly is what has changed.
But I mean, it's beyond that, though, because like we've all seen the conspiracies about the dude from Lincoln Park and Anthony Bourdain and everybody who died a month after releasing or announcing they were releasing the sexual assault expose on the whole situation. Like, all of this has been going on for so long and people just turned a blind eye to it because their side is in power.
Well,
when the Democrats were in power and this was going on, it wasn't being screamed from the rooftops like it is now. And don't get me wrong, I understand why.
They were just as involved in it.
Exactly, and that's why I say that. And I understand why now, and it's because we see best friends, best friend in power.
I actually think that it is deeper in the sense that I do think that it shows how corrupt both sides are, and it opens the door for third party. It opens the door for new leadership that isn't attached to either party. Now, can leadership outspend any independent candidate? Probably. But if people are now looking for an independent candidate because they believe both sides are so fucked.
I mean, that's again why the voting isn't the way out. Because Obama went to the same summer camp as Epstein. And that's a nigga that was on the blue side. Right? Like, it doesn't fucking matter which side you're on. Like,
that's
it doesn't matter
which point. That's my whole point here, Cliff.
What do you mean?
We need to be away from either side.
So what do you do?
You
Because all
vote
I heard you
for
say
you
is
vote
it
for
makes room
third.
for another candidate.
No,
But
I
that's the
said it
thing.
makes room for another party outside of any of the existing ones. That's what I'm saying.
So what does that? But I guess that's
So
what I'm saying. What does?
that means start, and you saw a chunk of it here in the latest, this off cycle election. Continue
But
to
see, I
vote
guess
for independent candidates.
this is what frustrates me about it all, right? And we've had this conversation before in the past that it's like if we have a country and all the people that run this country operate in, let's call it a factory, and the factory's full of all of these weird dominatrix-esque torture chamber type tools and straps and apparatuses. If you're just putting a new motherfucker in that factory, you can't guarantee me that those apparatuses don't get put in use
And
in
the
a different
way
way.
and the way I would take and use that same analogy is electing independent candidates at the local level starts to remove those devices from those rooms. Not all at once. You can't
But
completely rebuild the factory in one fell swoop. What you can do
see,
is attack key parts of it.
I agree, but that's
That's the
also
Mamdanis of the world.
well, see, here's the thing. No, that's also assuming that the polar opposite shift takes place. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's
hear you.
also assuming that Democrats get a chance where they control the entire government to be
My
able
my
to.
whole point is I don't think it should be either one of the existing parties. And
But that's
I think Democrats right now, especially the way they handled the end of the shutdown, I think it shows that there is non-compos mentis in leadership of the Democratic Party,
and
which is
I
going to
understand what you.
open the door for a Bernie Sanders led kind of third party, whatever you want to call it.
Well, see, here's my issue is that I feel like that my frustration comes into places because like my focus is on the system and not the party.
No, and I hear you.
And it doesn't matter what system you put in place, as long as there are tools, as long as there are curtains that stop you from being able to see what goes on. I don't trust
And
anybody.
the first tool that we need to get rid of, or the first curtain that needs to be eliminated, is we need to go after billionaires, point blank, period. Whether that's financially, whether that's
I mean,
lawfully or not.
I get that. I get that. But I guess my point may make a little bit more sense when you say like to use that as an example, you want to go after billionaires. Well fuck just going after billionaires. Let's make it to where billionaires can't hide behind their corporations, their
Yep.
trust funds and all.
Eliminate
That's a better starting point.
corporations.
Right, that's a better starting point than aiming at any one in specific person,
Completely
because
agree with
what you're
that.
doing is you're dismantling the system that allows them to operate behind closed doors,
And
as
what
opposed to looking at the person who's operating behind closed
and what I
doors.
think the opportunity is, and this is, we've talked similar stuff in the past, and I mentioned it, I think, a couple of weeks ago. The opportunity at the state level is to attack corporations and quote unquote rights that we've granted to corporations, because states grant rights to corporations. That's part of incorporated, is that you are following the state's laws for corporations in the state that you're incorporated. We
Right.
have seen 3 citizen-led ballot initiatives here in Ohio that have all passed. Now, the corrupt government is keeping some of them from taking shape, but recreational marijuana, abortion in our Constitution is a right, and the redistricting, all citizen-led initiatives, not either party, whatever. Citizen-led. We can do the same thing with corporations and take away corporate rights, which is where I think that the next big step for Ohio is to go over corporate landowners and say corporations do not have the right to own land in Ohio. If you have or if you're a corporation, or limit the land rather, is probably more realistic, but limit corporations to, you can own no more than 50 acres. You can own no more than 2 single family homes. That's doable, and
I mean,
that's
but I
all
guess
citizen led.
why would a corporation need to own a home anyway?
That I completely agree with that, and that's what happened, Cliff. With 30% of the homes in Ohio right now are owned
I mean,
by
I understand
BlackRock or
that.
some other LLC.
So beyond see, that's I guess that's my thing is beyond who's allowed to do what. Like you said, who in the state allowed them to do that?
The people who sold it to them.
Right. And who in the state allowed them to do that? Like who, what legislative representative, what?
As a state, we gave corporations the right to own land in Ohio.
Correct. But who, you're missing my point.
No, it's
Who
the
allowed them?
billionaires. It's the billionaires that funded the politicians. That's why. What I am saying is that we have the possibility of citizen-led ballot initiatives to take that away. That is in our power as citizens. We showed it with weed. We showed it with
you're missing my point. My question is, who are the people? Who are the people that voted to allow for the corporations to take all of the homes? That's another thing that I feel like is a part of a system that needs to be removed. There is no hiding behind your vote. Everybody should know who the people are, even if you're not on the seat, even if you don't hold a House or a Senate seat anymore, who was involved in this vote. Because we're getting to a, like, trust and believe. Like I hear people say, like, you know, like, fuck what people say. I know people are wanting to go about things the way things have previously gone, right? Like let's stick with
in
you know
absence of
voting it out and
in absence of an alternative. So
but
what's
here's
the
my thing.
alternative?
But here's my thing, right? Here's my thing
Because
about it.
I hear this rhetoric from you all the time.
Listen, here's my thing though, is we've seen a Trump, somebody that was in power, voted into power, and has ignored laws, constitutions. So essentially it's that you never gave a fuck if motherfuckers followed it or not, right? Because if that was the case, it wouldn't matter if it was the president or it wasn't the president.
Yeah.
You were just giving people access to abuse. That's what you were doing. You just hoping that the person that you voted in didn't abuse or didn't at least blatantly abuse. And that's what Trump is doing. And that's one thing that I've said from the beginning is that at least we get to see what these other motherfuckers, being the left, were doing behind the closed doors that they didn't want us to see by a sloppy motherfucker. So it, again, voting somebody in that's different does not guarantee, because as long as they have access,
it doesn't guarantee anything. You're right.
So beyond even, I don't even want another vote until we tear down all the things that allow y'all to hide behind when you make these rules, legislations, and all that. No, put your name on it. Stand on the shit that you know what I'm saying? If you want to vote against healthcare, I need to know all 50 names involved, and it needs to be a matter of.
But all that's public record. You can go online and you can see.
But no, it needs
for every
to.
vote.
I get that, but no, it needs to be out there. Like Fox and CNN, start putting that shit out there.
No, they're not going to, because they're owned by those parties. They're owned by the same people.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like there needs to be a level of fear, the same way that there is.
That I agree with.
The same way that there is with CEOs in a Luigi Mangione situation, there needs to be a deeper level of fear for politicians, because you're even more important. You should be even higher of a target than a CEO, because you're the one who offers the legislation for the CEOs to take advantage. They wouldn't be able to take advantage if it wasn't for you.
I actually think that the CEOs take more advantage than the politicians do. And it's
right,
because they're paying off politicians to protect their
interests. Which is why you should be a higher target, because they wouldn't be able to take advantage if it wasn't for you. It's no different than an
my argument there would be, and we've seen it plenty of times, they'll just put another butt in the seat. To your point.
But that's what I'm saying. Until it gets too dangerous for people to take the position.
Yeah,
After a while, it becomes, I'm not doing your job for you.
Well, and
you
that
have
goes,
to do it yourself. And then wait. And then we've removed the curtain of who are these people that are making these rules behind the scenes.
And that's the argument for term limits. That's the argument for not letting Congress members buy stock while they're in office. Like, there are proposals around that to start addressing that. However, to your point, ain't going to happen with who's in power right now. And I believe that on both sides. I don't think
And
it's
how do
side.
I, and even still, how do I trust you to do it?
Right.
I don't trust. That's why I'm saying.
But again, my point here is, and it's the same point I made to Gordon. What's the alternative? Give me an alternative solution.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know that there is an alternative solution because, again, I don't know that we'll ever be a unified front.
Yeah.
Just, it's going to come down to individual circumstances, individual, what do you call it? Risk, whatever an individual is willing to take on is what an individual should do. Like, but you're not going to have a group of people that are all on the same page because this is a fucking petri dish of a country that they've experimented on for hundreds of years and made it a way to where even we, like, I know we have race conversations all the time. Even if we did white and white and black and segregation was a fucking thing, we still wouldn't be together. Right. Black and black would not be unified, just like white and white would not be unified. So when you add the fact that we're mixing the two of us on top of that, we'll never be unified.
Right. I agree with that.
And a lot of it comes down to stupidity. So when you know that there's so many stupid people around you, like it's a point where you have to ask yourself what it is you're willing to sacrifice or deal with in a scenario. Right. But it's not going to be a situation where we're just going to have a manned front of thousands and thousands of people all fighting for one cause. This is a petri dish of a country.
Yep.
They did that for a reason.
Well, and that goes back to we had the chat on revolutions throughout history, and never is it a unified front never is it. I take that back. The boiling point that we are at is not about a unified front. It is about a catalyst for change. The problem is that there's no what comes after. I think people on both sides of the aisle are ready to blow the whole thing up and start over, but there's no unity on what comes next. But for change to happen, you don't have to know what comes next. You just need the inciting incidents.
But see, that's the thing. If everybody believes in different things, if everybody's fighting for a different reason.
But does it matter what reason they're fighting? Like, people go to war all the time without a reason.
No, it definitely matters because then there's always going to be the opposition. And right now, the opposition should only be government. It shouldn't be other groups of people that disagree with you.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what I'm saying. Before we ever, if this is how fucked up of a country we're in, is if a group of us ever wanted to march towards a capital to declare war on a government before they ever met a government official, it would be like that 1970s movie The Warriors, where you had to fight through neighborhoods of regular citizens trying to stop you before you even got to the goal you were trying to do.
And here's my take is that the politician that rises here next, assuming it's not Donald Trump for, a third and fourth and forever term, is going to be the person that comes out and basically trashes both parties equally.
No,
I think whoever comes out with that message is going to have a lot of backing very quickly.
I do too, but all that is antichrist shit. All that is a group of people that are so fucking dumb that they can't make fucking decisions for themselves, that finally see somebody that's like, well, at least they're against the system.
Well, supposedly,
isn't that what Trump did? Isn't that why we're in this situation? Isn't that why people, at least he's against the system?
That's what I was just about to say. And he is deeper in the system than anybody.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Again, antichrist shit. Like if anybody is that's what I'm saying. If anybody is even talking about the system, there should be pitchforks and torches, and they should be drug off of the podium that they're running on. Why are you talking about a system that's failed us for all these years? You're a plant if you're still talking about a system or operating within a system or anything
Okay.
along those lines.
I can agree with that.
You should be scared to even mutter the similar system. But people are like, well, just give us a better No, fuck a better person. Because
I
at the
mean,
end of the
that's
day,
why Mamdani rose the way he did. That's why, quote unquote, democratic socialist candidates
that's
throughout
why
the
they make
country are getting bigger.
that's why biblical what do you call it is coming to light every day, because you make room for shit like that. You make room for shit like that. And then you got him Mamdani out there, and if he really fucking wanted to, he could switch all the way the fuck up. And all I needed was for you to get me in there. You
You're
feel what
not
I'm
wrong.
saying? All I needed was to say the things that you wanted to hear, just like this fucking president. Yet we keep fucking walking into the doorknob,
I hear
explaining
you,
to
and
people
it's
why we
about
have a black eye, and nobody believes it.
and it's about people, to your point, being educated and seeing what's their record after they made those promises.
And somebody like that doesn't have a record. You don't have a record.
I hear you. What I'm saying is, if he does anything else, the first
Right, but
question needs
do
to
you
be,
understand
what
the
was your
danger of
record?
that? Is what I'm saying is that somebody who doesn't have
But
a record.
But that's also. But you're looking at it from the way I'm looking at it is that limit where they can have an impact. But to your point, as you rise in statures, you go from a city councilman to a state
Mayor
representative
to
to a
a
U.S.
right
senator. Like,
governor to a right.
you have different access and different temptations. But those steps along the way can tell you what their record was up at least until that point. You're right. You can never trust anybody not to be corrupt. Like, at the end of the day, anybody can be
Especially,
corrupted
and
at
that's
any
what
time.
it's beyond that, right? It's the country was built on a system of corruption. So if you're just gonna it might sound sacrilegious to say, so I won't say Jesus Christ, right? I won't say anything like that. But you could put somebody of a very high morality into a corrupt system, and eventually it
They'll be
corrupts
corrupted.
that
Yeah,
person.
it's the whole
So
you either die a hero or live long enough to see
right.
yourself
So
become the
it
villain.
doesn't fucking matter who you put into the system when the system is the problem. So anybody who's talking about saving the system should be looked at as a fucking treasonous. You know what I'm like? We got to
I
take it
hear
to a
you.
level of extreme to
What
get
I
out of this extreme that we're in.
and not going to argue that. I do think that you are correct. I am looking for what feel more achievable paths. However, I know your response to that is going to be, that's the problem, and I get that.
Right. Sometimes you have to jump off of the cliff and learn to fly before you hit the ground, or dive into the water and learn to swim before you drown. You don't have to have a fucking plan every time. That's the issue, is that people try to plan shit out until they're so subjectified that it's like there's not any coming out of this.
Right. And your
Fuck the
alternatives are
plan.
to leave.
Fuck the plan. Dump the tea.
Like your alternatives are to leave.
Flip the table. Fuck the plan.
We can say
That's the
that
thing.
all we want, but as long as you live here, you're going to be subject to those things. To what extent, you can find ways to stay off the grid and stay off the radar. Like, that's definitely possible in this country.
For a matter of time, but
Right.
then who are you exactly? Are you somebody that just plans on running until they find you, or are you somebody that's just gonna stand on what it is you fucking own? And then people be so quick to say, especially black folks, I'm not my ancestors. Bitch, you're not. You're not your ancestors. They fought. They
Over
fought.
and over again. Yeah.
Right. Even the white ones dumped the tea. Now you're getting taxed on top of taxed on top of taxed on top of taxed, talking about, well, if we just vote better, fuck your vote. And fuck your strength. Fuck whatever you got. Fuck your heart. Why would you want to be citizens with people like that? Because essentially what I am as a citizen is somebody that believes in something strong enough that I'm willing to take up arms to defend it. But if nobody agrees with me, I shouldn't be in the fucking country with anybody. Sounds like I should be a different citizen.
And yet we're all still here.
You know what I'm saying though? Like it's like what and then what level of citizens are we then?
Now that also, I have mixed feelings on what you just said, just from a standpoint of it's luck of the draw what you're born into.
No,
No,
I
I
agree.
agree.
I definitely agree with you, but at
And
the
your
same time,
opportunity to leave. Now, fact of the matter is, I could kidnap my child and drive out of this country. But
listen, no, but
is
I mean,
that what's best for him? Probably not.
or maybe so, or maybe so. My whole thing is, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. I'm sure that when the Boston Tea Party went down, there were a gang of people that hunkered down in their house and put their fucking dresser drawers in front of their front doors and didn't do anything at all and got to reap the benefits of the bloodshed by the people who actually gave a fuck. And don't get me wrong, I do feel like those people should be dealt with as well. Not as severely, but you don't get to you don't have any say in this. It should be perfectly within the other people's right to walk them out of the country and say, well, now it's time for you to go off and find another place to live. That shouldn't be a wild thing for people to see the war's over and people knock on the doors and say, it's time for you to leave. It's time for your cowardice to be rewarded by a journey at sea. It's always going to be people that aren't willing to make a sacrifice, and those people should not reap any sort of reward.
So for survival of the fittest, that's all there is.
Either
Damn the invalid, women, children, damn that.
Well, no, that's up to the family that you're in. It's no different now. If you get sick right now, it's a lot of people who can't afford insurance and whose families have to take care of the invalid until they pass. There's no difference.
They don't have to. No one has to.
Right. But it comes down to love. So if you treated the person around you, the people around you well enough, they want to take care of you in that sense. So the invalids wouldn't have anything to worry about as long as they were treating people right, because we already have that built into us. Most of us have that built into us, that the people who cannot defend themselves.
I don't know, man. The girl on TikTok proved that, of 43 religious institutions called, only 10 of them were willing to help a baby, and most of those were Black, Hispanic, and not of the Christian faith.
I'm not surprised.
No shit.
I'm not surprised. But again, like I say, like this is when we count, right? We count shit. Like, see, that's the thing. It would have been so different, right? If back in the day, like when you think about like the Buffalo Soldiers and the Red Tails and countless stories of Blacks that were sent to war, stories of Blacks not even being able to fight at war because they believed them to be lesser people, and then stories of Blacks that conquered shit and they were like, oh, well, we need them
gotta
now.
pull you back in,
right? So if it was only a situation where those Blacks that were like, you know what, now fuck y'all, right? Like now, because we see our strength, it's gonna have to change, or we're gonna turn the war on y'all as well. And y'all are gonna have to deal with the Black soldiers as well as the enemy soldiers, and you won't be able to compete. You have to leverage your specific power.
That's
what white people do very fucking well.
That's why they kept numbers on that low, so that there were never enough of them to truly pose a threat. But there were squads that they could send in for specific things.
And the issue is when you come up with when you come up with situations or government programs like welfare, what you do is you cut off the patriarch that has those stories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When a father or a male figure can't be in a household while they receive government assistance, what you've essentially done is you've cut off those bedtime stories or those, stories around a dinner table that your grandfathers would tell you to explain to you what it took to overcome circumstance.
Yeah.
And that's why even in the black community, you won't see a unified front because you removed all the people that taught you solidarity. And they labeled the Panthers a terrorist organization, even though they fed neighborhoods of black, whites, and Hispanics.
That was actually my inadvertent thought this week is how do we bring the Panthers back? And it doesn't even have to be
Well, the Panthers never went anywhere.
fair. How do we amplify that message, organize the way they did, but not put it on the backs of blacks?
You got to do what all the minorities did. Like the Panthers weren't exclusive to black people. There
No,
were
they
other
weren't.
races
They
in the
definitely weren't.
Panthers, and the other races that didn't feel comfortable joining the Panthers. They had like the brown, what do you call it? And it was a Mexican group, and you had an Indian group. Like if they would have came out with the white tigers, you know what I'm saying? Then motherfuckers would have been
That's
more
it.
of
I'm taking that name. We're starting it now.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you got the Black Panthers,
White Tigers
the
are power.
White Tigers. It's better than the Klan. Let me
That's
just
true.
tell you like that.
I'm not OKKK with it.
Yeah, you hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? But that's what it comes down to is it's solidarity, and they do a good job.
How do we start to rebuild community is my question. And it's something that, as somebody that is very comfortable being inside and never wanting to go outside, a big part of the reason I coach is because it's that sense of community. So how do we re-amplify, or how do we bring that sense of community back? How do we start to rebuild?
We don't have to. We're getting to a point where they're doing a good job of it for us.
Say more.
Like we're getting to a point where the current government administration is doing a good job of us building community again on its own. Like it's happening.
It's forcing
organically,
it
right?
Because corporations are running rampant. Blah blah blah.
It's happening
People
organically.
Are starting to look local again.
And that's one thing that Donald Trump, I don't know if his dick sucking ass understood, but like ICE is just giving the people a unified threat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you're giving us something to combat together.
Yeah.
And
you're seeing it in Chicago.
Right. And all
that's what I said would happen when they went to Chicago.
Provides camaraderie.
The so-called gangsters in Chicago are shooting up ICE vehicles.
Right. And you know how and it's funny because all the hillbilly white motherfuckers was like, we gonna see what happens now. We gonna see if you're a gangster now. Yeah, and they're showing you that they're just what they said that they were.
Chicago is the one that I think I see the most material from in terms of like user-generated videos and shit.
Right. I seen people posting on Facebook that they're here now.
Yeah. I heard that like a month ago, but I don't seeing that makes sense.
That's where else? That's little Mexico, little Africa, little everything is out there. So of course, if you were gonna be here, the north side would be the first place you'd want to come to.
That's a risky area to be in, having coached.
And listen, and I'm gonna tell you something. I don't even want to listen. I don't even want to be.
Considering we had 3 or 4 practices that were canceled because of gunfire.
Listen, I don't even want to be helpful to ICE, but you don't even need documents. You can just pull over Corollas and like you're gonna find what you want, just basing it off of car type and car type alone.
Yeah, because they could just as easily go to all of the soccer fields around the state and find most of them too.
I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know they're not from here.
Right.
You're not getting local
ICE agents.
Nigga, if there was if you got a like a bonus for each one. I know a lot of motherfuckers that would be ICE agents around here because you can go, you can knock out 50 in a clean swoop if you had a big enough vehicle. Do you hear what I'm saying? Oh shit!
Now,
Never mind. Let me
alternatively,
stop.
if you're in Columbus and are not happy with the situation with ICE, you probably now know where to look for them as well. So, leaving that there.
Listen, that's why I'm just saying, like, you might need to, switch up home field advantage. Maybe y'all need to like do the NFL and have like away games for both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, find a field that is like not anywhere that y'all normally play, and that's the new, you know.
Right. Hey, the East
Motherfucker,
Side's open for all of them. Come on down.
shit. Your
Come
motherfucker
back
dude
to the
that
East Side.
might have to be like a Field of Dreams situation. You know
If
what
you
I'm
build it,
saying?
let
Like, y'all
me
need to
come.
find some cornfields to take cover in.
Well, that was the first place they looked, Cliff, was the cornfields. It wasn't until ICE got involved that they decided to go to Linden.
I don't even know. Listen, that's not the area they was at. They wasn't in that area. They were like, we ain't stopping nobody around here. Not only are these motherfuckers from here, we don't want to deal with this.
Oh man. But yeah,
That's a fact.
that was my and I've seen a couple of things lately and I'm trying to figure out and I was starting to do a little research like how do you create a quick platform around it. But you know that
Platform
they've
around what?
they've created basically alternatives to like Etsy, right? That are basically employee owned and
I don't
open
even know what
source
that.
co-op. So Etsy's like an artsy shop where
Right,
it used to be like individual creators could go there and sell their goods.
right,
Etsy went wild and charges such a premium now that most what I would call like mom and pop creators can't afford to be on there anymore. And so people
right,
basically created a new marketplace where there was no like there's a transaction fee, but it's a flat fee no matter the transaction, and it's really just to cover their web server costs. But it's basically a
right,
peer to peer like think of like arts and craft type shit that people artists sell.
right.
What my question is how do you take that same mechanism and create a community based basically food pantry where if somebody needs help they can go online, they can post in this site, and like folks like me, upper middle class white folks, can go and buy the groceries and have them delivered or have them dropped off. Like, how do we create that kind of marketplace that has no quote unquote financial value, that's basically enough to keep it running and that's it? And what would be the types of things that you would think that you would want to see on there? Like, is it yard work? Is it like I said earlier, groceries? Is it, I don't know, but make it community based and have it focused in that way. And I guess the immediate thing there is like, all right,
Man, I think that's tough.
how do you quote unquote police it? One, so that people aren't scamming. Although I'm kind of the mindset of if someone's scamming free groceries, shame on them, not me. Like, I'm not gonna feel bad if I got scammed because I gave the guy on the corner $20 and he goes and spends it on alcohol. Like, but still give it like so. I don't know.
I don't think that I mean, I don't mean to sound like negative, but I feel like that I don't know that would work for community in the first place.
What do you mean?
I think app is not community.
No, I agree. But
If I have to get on an app to find somebody that would be willing to assist with yard work, then chances are they're coming from outside of the community to assist me.
well,
You
and
know what I'm saying?
that's where I don't know that I agree with that. Just because I know like three people on my block that I've had a conversation with. That
Right,
doesn't
but
mean
that's
I wouldn't be willing to help them out if they needed something.
but again, that's community.
I agree.
Those are 3 people on your block that you had a conversation with. You didn't need an app to be put in touch with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Usually the app, like, let's put it like this. So think about it like Grubhub or DoorDash. Like, if we were just talking about our community, like, could you just run and go get me some food? People probably wouldn't use DoorDash, right? Because the spots are right down the street from you in your community.
Sometimes.
So you could have somebody in the community take orders and go pick things up. But what you're doing is you're getting on the app to get distance, to reach areas I can't get to get food, and maybe somebody from that community would be willing to.
But I also don't think that folks are hopping on DoorDash if they don't have the money to go get food. So what I'm saying is, like, I don't have to necessarily know someone in this neighborhood, but if there were a service that would tell me, hey, the family, 2 streets over and 1 block up needs baby formula, diapers, whatever, I'm willing to throw in, and I don't have to know them, but I know it's bettering my community. That's what I'm saying. Like, have it be kind of marketplace-like, but have it be geofenced. Like, it's a 6-block radius of you, or it's a mile radius of you. That's it. And anybody who falls outside of that geofence, doesn't have access.
And then another thing that I would argue is,
because I'm not like the most sociable person. I'm not the person who's going to walk down the street, see somebody on their porch, and strike up a conversation with them.
No, not at all.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not willing to support that person in my community if they needed something. I just have to know they had the need.
Right.
And that's kind of what I'm saying.
But I guess what I'm getting at is, you are.
Because otherwise, the only thing I have to do is go and have a conversation. I don't want to do.
You're in a different circumstance, though, right? Because without putting your business out there, while kind of putting your business out there, you're at a higher bracket than the people around you in a lot of ways.
Yes. I would say it's not as crazy a difference as it used to be. But
No, not at all. But what I'm getting at here is there are a lot of people that live in a lot of communities, that do things where once they get into that tax bracket, they're out of that community.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Your community doesn't need help, sir.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where you moved to, you chose to uproot yourself from the place that needed the assistance, and put yourself in a place that no longer does need the assistance. So at that point, that just becomes a charity app to them. It isn't community because you don't come from a community.
And that's my point around having it be like geofenced.
But see, the only issue with that is,
then you've got a bunch of low income trying to support other low income.
Right. Like, there has to be a way to include the outside community in community activities to make them invested in wanting to assist.
Have something like that, and then have basically a shareable link to fund. It's a GoFundMe at that point.
What if
basically a mini GoFundMe where you're able to say, hey, there's this person on the app in my community that needs this. We have this that we've gathered in the community. Now we're asking for outside help, and have it be a shareable donations thing.
I don't know. That doesn't really strike me either, just because, like, then what's the difference between that and just a GoFundMe? It just with a link that you sent to your community.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like, don't get me wrong, I definitely enjoy, like, throwing shit at the wall, but
again,
also have to be.
Go ahead.
Just to get my thought out, it would almost have to be like a reverse of Task Rabbit. You know how like Task Rabbit, where you would put on the site what it is that you need done. Like I need a fucking
Well,
sliding door installed.
It's TaskRabbit and it's reverse bidding.
So yeah,
who
if
can
you
do
did
it for the lowest cost, basically?
well, I'm basically saying like if you did a reverse Task Rabbit where I'm not putting up the work that I need done, I'm putting up the work that I'm able to do. Whether it would be I cook dinners or, like I cook dinners out of my house and sell them to the neighborhood. Well, now if somebody was interested in a catering situation, they could pay that person $250. That puts money in their pocket and that helps their business.
I hear you.
Likewise, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's a person who's down on their luck, but they're like, I've been a carpenter and a what's a name for 50 years, then you can have that person just like a Home Depot pick up. Come here. I'm gonna help you put this. You're gonna help me put this drywall up. I'll pay you for the day. I'll come back and get you extra work if need be. Then all of a sudden you've created word of mouth between people who need work done. Well, I know a guy over here that's real good with his hands and can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that would be the easiest way that I could think of something that could bring people from outside of the community into help in a sense.
Okay. No, I like the thought. I like that idea.
Because otherwise it's like
how do you marry those two things up?
People are always going to take advantage any way that they can. That's just a human nature thing. People are going to take advantage. But when it's just a situation of me posting what I'm best at, I'm an artist. Well, maybe somebody, pays you to paint the side of their gallery with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, well, it's funny you bring up artist. That was a Christmas gift for Char one year. There was a local artist, lived in Old Town, and she did pet portraits. And she had a link on, I was one of like the East Side groups. And so I shot her a note, said, "Hey, what do you do for this?" And paid her, got a nice little portrait of Louis V. Puggle.
Right. I think I remember that.
Yeah, on like the green background.
Yeah.
And he looked very regal, even though he's an asshole. That dog is still alive, by the way. That motherfucker is coming up on 16 as a Puggle.
I mean, is that
that's Puggles are like 11 to 12 tops.
I just remember.
Yep, he's still like that.
His mouth crooked. He had a crooked underbite. That's all I remember. Oh, ugly dog.
He was. He is an ugly dog. He's an asshole too.
But yeah, nah. I mean, I don't know. And it's not that I would have. It's beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's beyond anything as far as our ideas of community, right? And that's another reason why I say if it has to be an app, it's not community.
Yeah.
Because we're getting to a point where everything has been over-regulated.
Yeah.
Everything is over-regulated. So if you're putting it online, if it's not via word of mouth or flyer, it's not your community. People are coming from outside of the community,
trying to disrupt it, whatever.
Right.
Or it could be coming from a big place or a good place.
Trying to monetize how can I make money off of this? Like that's the opposite of community. You know what I mean? Like community should be private within the community. Shit like that.
So here's one for you that I've been giving some serious thought, and I think I'm going to reach out to the Blackburn Community Center.
Okay.
Or the one over by Nelson Park. And I just want to offer free speed training. Like,
what you mean?
Ask one of those rec centers. Like, hey, let me hold a class. Let me open a class, basically. Like they have at rec centers, right? They got boxing classes. They got exercises,
right.
Blah blah blah.
Especially at Blackburn. Blackburn has boxing there.
And just say like, hey, this is going to be a youth program, ages 5 to 15, and all it is speed training. It's quick foot ladders, it's plyometrics, it's blah blah blah, and I'm willing to volunteer my time an hour twice a week, and free to whoever wants to show up.
Yeah.
like again, for me, community and the only communities I've really felt ever attached to were sports. And I think
Right.
sports are a great way to bring communities together.
I definitely agree, right? Like I don't ever want to sound like how am I trying to
No, you being all I'm just gonna poo poo every idea right now. It's all right.
and I don't mean to be that way. I guess what I'm getting at is, like especially like with poor disenfranchised black communities, they don't need help with sports.
No, I hear you.
That's the only way they
That's the
believe they
downplay
can
there.
get out. You know what I'm saying? So they're good on all that. Like it needs to be, and I don't mean to like that would be a great idea. Let me stop there. That would be a great idea, but I feel like that's more of a benefit to the center, I guess, than the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Like,
my point is that there aren't those community gathering spaces outside of that right now.
say that again. Say that again.
Meaning you don't have there aren't organic ways to like, or maybe it's just that I it's not ways that I would be comfortable with or know what to do, but there aren't really organic ways of like bringing community together. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I definitely
And so
understand that.
that's where I'm saying like offering something structured, offering something that is sharing, to your point earlier, sharing expertise. Like
That's more along the lines sharing expertise, because I also, but not to sound funny, but also to sound a little funny because it is a podcast, but like a white dude offering black kids speed training is like a white dude
no, that's
teaching
fair.
a class in racism to, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Like what is a
Well, and again,
what
it's
about
like
credit?
what
You know,
skill
like
sets do I have to offer? Right.
like things that, like people light up when they see white people come in, like opportunity, credit, ownership, things of that those I would like to hear more about that than I
I
would a
hear you.
motherfucker teaching me a quick foot ladder, because I do that at the house. You know what I'm saying? I do that with my dad or with my friends, just not with the ladder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
that's
that's
all
fair.
I do all day is shoot basketball or play football or
Well, 10 years ago I would have believed you, or 20 years ago I might have believed you. Now ain't nobody out there doing that because I don't see anybody on the courts, man.
well
I
it's
never
not
used to be able to go to a basketball court around here and like find an open court. I have
well it's
yet to
not
see a court
nobody.
with anybody on
It's
it.
not nobody, and then I think a lot of it comes down to like the availability as well, right? Like
Yeah, because there are times.
it's a lot of courts, and then there's a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
hear you.
there's a lot of kids who are beyond shooting hoops and they're on bullshit time,
Yeah.
right? So you're not going to see a lot of kids out in the open to run
Well,
into.
and meanwhile, I'm thinking of it more in terms of like video games. Like kids aren't
Right.
outside doing shit because they're on the game.
Well, those are the ones that can afford games,
Right. That's fair.
and even the ones that can afford games may own one or two. And we all know after a while that gets old and you want to pick up a football or go
Yeah.
walk down the street to the rec center.
Yeah.
So the ones that are already in their mind that I may have an opportunity in sports,
Yeah.
they're doing it
They're
already.
doing it. That's fair.
Yeah. It's the ones that you would be doing something like that. You would get the kids that whose parents made them come.
Yeah.
They're doing a speed training at the rec center. You're gonna go do it,
And it's free. Go do
right? You know what I'm
it.
saying? But those are the kids that are gonna be.
Yeah. No, you're right.
When
Very
do I get
well.
to go home and play Call of Duty?
Right.
Stomping through the drills. So I don't know, like I don't mean to be negative, but how much help does that really do? You
No,
know what
I
I'm
hear you.
saying?
I hear you.
But see, then you're getting too real. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say, or if you had like a class at the rec center to teach you like the the temptations that you'll go through, like,
Yeah.
you know, like whether it be street stuff, women, the way they'll get you lured into it, you know, things like that would be very beneficial to
Yeah.
young kids. Teaching them that it's okay to say no and you won't look like no lame dude. You know, you can still be cool and say, nah, it's not for me, my guy.
Right.
That's
Right.
not for me. Those are what I feel like the community, at least the inner city communities, need more of.
Yeah.
More mentorship than coaching.
No,
We got
that's
enough
a good way.
coaches.
That's a good way to put it.
And you got to think everybody wants to be a coach, especially in the inner city. You got white coaches in the inner city. Why? Because they like shit. It's more talent there. I'll be a coach
Facts.
if I can get a hold of some of that. So it's like even in those situations, you still got people coming to exploit.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can you do beyond the exploitation?
Now, the argument I would make is, I don't know, in a lot of places, especially in Columbus, quality of coaching at some of those inner city schools is questionable at best.
I agree, but I also feel like it comes down to that comes down to selection,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Like, because it's no different than like when we look at the NFL, right? Like we can look at the high school coaches or coaches around Ohio high schools, and they're going to be more white than black. That's just something that you're going to see. But then you look at the game, and it's like, well, isn't it more black than white? Why you can't find any blacks that are willing? Well, you can find blacks that are willing to coach in the area. It's just that you're not selecting those people.
That's fair. That's fair.
You're selecting people from outside because you think they're offering more than the ones who have been there that can actually connect with the kids. It's no different than like black families.
It's no different than my alma mater, St. Charles, not even giving me an interview the last 2 times I applied for that job.
I mean,
opened up. My community does not respect the fact that we beat DeSales for the first time in 30 years, with me as the defensive coordinator. And the last time they had a league win, I was the defensive coordinator. They have not had a winning season since Jeff and I won the league title in 2013.
Well, you know what? I think that comes down to God too. And I know you don't believe the way I believe, but you know, like that comes down to a higher power. Like you don't go where you're tolerated. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You go where you're celebrated. And your level of expertise in an all-around manner, not just like on the football field, but in an all-around manner, is better used elsewhere than a pompous ass Catholic all boys school. So let them pompous ass niggas breed those pompous ass niggas that they breed.
I appreciate that, Cliff.
Yeah, and go be great somewhere where you're actually needed. Because I would think the value would come into play that you know where Michael Reggie came up.
Right.
So he can relate to both sides, the white kids and the black kids. So the black kids who come from a family that has a little bit more money than average, but still isn't quite able to feel comfortable and have what the rest of the kids have. You live that experience. You can navigate that world. You know what I'm saying? So that's
I still have that. I still have that imposter syndrome.
Right. That's a relatable. But again, like, you know, it's no different. That's no different, just like you said, than the inner city thing.
Yeah.
You don't recognize the people that came from there that can do good there.
Exactly.
Because you think this guy from outside is better suited for it.
I agree with that.
And it's the same with the workforce in general. Like we've gotten to a point where where cheap labor is so valued that I'm willing to roll the dice on multiple different outcomes instead of gambling on one that can stick.
And driving it. Yep.
Right. Give me 3 different motherfuckers in a 3-year time frame as opposed to one guy that I allow to fuck up for a year and get it right.
Right.
We're beyond that.
I'm with you. Well, and it's interesting because I saw, and it was kind of an HR kind of generalist, is that they were talking about trends and that they believe the trend is about to reverse from what we've been seeing, which is what you just talked about around 3 different, 4 different, 5 different like job hoppers
Right.
versus investing in, a internal hire or whatever. There is a big belief in that is kind of circling back around now, is that, the loyalty is going to matter. The demonstrated expertise is going to
But
matter,
see,
because,
that's
and I think
where
part of that, and part of my concern with that, and I think I brought this up previously, is I think a lot of entry level shit is going to be handled by AI and chatbots,
right. I mean,
no matter the industry.
that's where I would say a world that I would one day want to live in is where people recognize that these motherfuckers are just riding the trend. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
Don't give them your work.
Yeah.
Don't give them your work. Like people are so quick to boycott with their dollars as far as consumerism goes. But your time is much
Way
more
more
important than
valuable.
the
Yeah.
dollars you spend.
Yeah.
So think about how much time you're investing in a piece of shit ass company.
Well, and the thing I want to see make a comeback is employee owned and operated, and basically
Well, I don't
make
think
make
you ever
anybody.
will.
No, I think you can, and I think you see it in very slim pockets. But what I'm saying is make even entry level positions, offer them a certain amount of stock. Like, there's no reason why. And I think that that's something that, again, you'll say we can't, laws don't matter and fighting for laws don't matter. But I think that that's another one around corporations. You could make it law that any corporation in existence has to give a share of ownership to the people that work for it.
I mean, I don't know that I would really care.
Which is
Like
fair.
I don't know that I would really I don't know that I would really even want that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're long gone from the Motor City days where we have job or car factories and
But you're
shit.
seeing
Like
but you're seeing unions win major deals or major things lately.
right,
You're
but I'm
seeing
saying though,
some of that come back. I hear you, and I think we
you
are gone from it until we tear it down and rebuild.
you've shipped away all of the jobs where that would matter. Like now, the only thing that you would see pop off like that, where stocks would basically make the employee rich, would be crypto and tech shit.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna see a average Joe in that space to be able to benefit off that. Like we are long gone from the factories that create, toys and cars and
Well,
shit.
all
Like
right, then challenge it to be for, I mean, challenge folks around you from hey, if you're starting a small medium business, have you given this thought?
what
Ownership.
thought?
Ownership. All employees are part owners.
And then I don't know if
Because
like as
to the
a
point
as
of they all make it about the shareholders anyways.
but that's what I'm saying. I mean, that should just be eliminated. But I mean, I feel like what if I don't want you owning any of my business?
Then don't hire them.
But that's what I'm saying. What if I need employees, but I don't want
Then
anybody
then you're
owning
then
my
you're
business?
then you're not to be in business.
But why not though?
If you're not willing.
Like,
And
why do you need?
I'm not saying they have to have an equal share, Cliff.
Well,
I'm
no,
not
I'm
even
saying
saying
why do
that they
you
have
have
to have
to?
a majority share,
Why do you have to have ownership? Why do you have to have a share at all? Why can't you just have a fair wage?
which is also fair.
Which is again why I myself would say I don't want to own your company. I don't want a piece of your stock.
But
I
if you
just want to be paid
but if you're a
what I'm
shareholder and have
worth.
voting rights, then you can vote for that.
Well, see, here's the thing though. I don't want to have to. I don't want all these moving parts, right? Like I don't want to have to use my leverage that already lets me know that I'm not working for a good company if I have to use my leverage just to vote for you to pay me
That's fair.
what I'm worth. If you're paying me what I'm
then
worth,
again, then don't go work there.
you can keep your company. Like we've all seen Shark Tank, and we all know the guy that's like, I'll give you a loan of $3,000 for 8% of your company. Well, how about you don't give me $300,000?
Right.
How about I keep that 8% of my company?
Which is what a good portion of people on that show ended up doing.
And that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm getting at. So I don't need your ownership. I just need the offer to make sense. Yeah. And I guess that's why I hate that show so fucking much.
Yeah.
It's because all the show is like billionaire culture trying to rip somebody
off the little man, yep.
Right out of something that they created. And I'm supposed to root for the fact that they got fucked over a little less than the last person that came up because they were more desperate than that's weird. That's weird. Like that like even to watch that is weird behavior.
I agree with that.
And I know a lot of people that watch that shit, and I want you to know I look at you weird. I do.
Not as weird as I would look at Donald blowing Bill Clinton.
No, not quite that weird. But all wearing let me stop.
And Putin has the pictures, Cliff. And Putin has the pictures.
I will stop. I'll stop. But I will say that Make America Great Again, that Make America Great Again hat is just a Western yarmulke. That's all that is.
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
That is all that is.
Who do you think gives better? Who do you think gives better head? Monica Lewinsky, Hillary Clinton, or Donald Trump?
I mean, it's an easy Monica.
You think so? I think Donald could remove his teeth and give you a good old gummy.
It's an easy Monica. And this is wild that I'm even entertaining this conversation. But Donald Trump has a turkey gullet.
Oh, maybe that's part of the. Maybe they fuck that and then fuck his mouth.
He has, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want that turkey gullet smacking up against anything that you got going on there. That'll throw you off. But I imagine that Hillary Clinton has more under the chin hairs
than Donald does.
Right, for sure. You know how, like they get those hairs under their chin. I bet she has more of those than I bet she has more of a fuzzy shadow than Donald does. I bet Donald shit is like a smooth nutsack. Like just, you know what I'm saying?
It looks like an almond.
Right, just loose flowing facial skin where Hillary is like a peach where it's always a little hairy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be like truck stop, like coarse skin or coarse hair hairy, but like you'll be tickled. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll tickle your pelvis a bit, you know? It might throw you off. So, but Monica, she performs under pressure, right?
True,
because she was in the Oval Office, which means that she only had an opportune amount of time, right?
Because presidents are busy men.
You know what I'm saying? She gave it sloppy enough
that she got some on the dress.
Exactly. That she got some on the dress, but was still clean enough
that she got out of there without it being noticed.
You hear what I'm saying? Baby hairs were not sweated down like she had been overworking and her hair got wet.
That's actually skillful. I'm actually
right.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
You gotta assume she was a pro. You gotta assume
Either that or Bill Clinton's a premature ejaculator.
I don't think so. I don't think you can be that smooth. I don't think you can be that. I don't think you choose saxophone if you nut quick.
If you nut quick, I think that's a fair call out.
I think you're more of a trumpet guy if you nut quick.
A trumpet guy?
You know, but if you're a saxophone, a smooth operator, you know what I'm saying? You're not concerned about time. You know, I got time. I'm about to saxophone you up real quick.
All right, man. What you got to take us out?
And his mouth is so tight. Like, you know, like you always see Trump's mouth. He always looks like it's all little and tight, like he has an attitude all the time. Like I've never seen Trump with an open mouth. That's why I feel like this is just trolling. This is just them being like, you sucked a dick. And he can be like, no, I didn't suck a dick. See, look at the files. You're lying. Epstein didn't say nothing about me sucking a dick. Look at the files. Like, but you're not smart. Like, you're not smart. And he's not that dumb. I'm just saying. So try again. I don't know. Hit the drawing board. And try again. Shit, but I don't think that wasn't a good shot. That shot didn't land.
No.
And then Putin's over there like, what the fuck I got to do with anything over here? Do you think I'm saving Trump sucking dick on my cloud files? I don't give a fuck about that nigga's fellation game. Putin like, I'll nuke everybody. Let me find out who said I got politician porn. I'm nuking everybody. Leave Putin out of it. Putin had proof that we was eating human beings. Putin got proof that Trump sucking dick. Putin got proof Jesus was black. That's the only thing that y'all didn't flip out about. And that's how I know something. Putin opened the doors of the church and everybody was like, God damn, all of the saints, everybody black. Nobody said a motherfucking word. They kept their mouth shut. But as soon as a dick got sucked, Trump come to the front of the motherfucking congregation. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh, man.
We give a fuck more about a dick getting sucked than the savior on a cross.
Well, again, that's something we already know, that Jesus was black.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, man. All right. Well, love everybody.
Love them. Love them.
Especially your community.
Especially the community. I mean, you guys, I just feel like if you feel like you're not a part of the community, then move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but here's the problem with imposter syndrome, Cliff. I'm never going to feel like I'm part of the community, no matter where I am.
That's a lie. That's a motherfucking lie. That just means that your community's too large.
Maybe.
You don't have to have a community. See, that's the thing. There will never be. If you have communities in the city, it's inevitable you have gangs.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't mean like Crips and Bloods. I just mean in general. This area is my area. This area is your area. I don't want to see you in my area. I don't want to see them in your area. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how shit works when we're in a city area where blocks are back to fucking back. Right. Like before, back in the day, neighborhoods would be cut off by something. There would at least be a field in between the two or a wooded area that separated them. Like, and you knew this is my community. Right. Any car that passes through here that doesn't, I know you don't belong here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now we're at a point where you're not supposed to be able to recognize every car. Why do you think kids come up missing now? Yeah. Why do you think? Because you can't recognize everything going on around you.
That's fair. All right. Do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell an enemy. Tell them to troll. And with all that, peace out, folks.